Okay. Hello, everyone. I hope we're all doing well. It's a wonderful day. Sun sets at 7 p.m. So this is what I like to hear. Great day for a Meet the Candidates. Back up. Oh, yeah, I forgot. There's a camera that has to look at me. So I'm Nick Gallo, Vice President of Student Government, Chair of the Election Committee. I will be hosting this event alongside Jake, the President of the Record. Do you want to introduce yourself?
Yes, my name is Jake Raritan, and I'm the President of the Record. Whenever the audience doesn't have questions, the Record, Melissa, who's in the audience, and I will be asking questions to the candidates. And we hope that it's a good event. Do you have anything more to add, Nick?
Yes, I will. So it will be a wonderful event. Let me just go over a couple of things first. Ground rules. Okay, so these two over here, they're also on the election committee, so I'm going to have them introduce themselves as well, and then we'll go over kind of how the event will be run and whatnot. So I'll start with you.
Hello, everyone. Can you hear me?
Yes.
They can hear me, yeah. What am I asking? What am I talking about? I'm Liam. I am on the elections committee. I am in my second year here, my fourth semester. I'm a liberal arts major, and I just love being on the elections committee. I just love monitoring elections. It's so much fun.
This is why he's in the position he's in.
Yeah.
Wouldn't be otherwise.
My name is Calvin Edgar. I am a second year liberal arts major also, and I love democracy.
This is what we like to hear. Wonderful, thank you, Calvin. So, let me just go over this. So the event will be run, it's fairly simple. Basically, it's going to start out the election. So we're going to call up the candidates. There's going to be three sections: one for senators, one for officers, and one for president and vice president. So first, the senators will come up, and each section will follow the same format. Where the election committee will ask some questions, the record will ask some questions, and then the audience will ask some questions, and then they could have a closing statement if they so choose. And there will be those three sections where we ask questions. We hope that the audience has many questions they want to ask. And once the event is over, you could use that opportunity to talk to the candidates one-on-one if you so choose. And then voting starts at 2:30, right after this event is over. I will be sending out an email for that because I forgot to print out QR codes. And fun little thing about the voting is every 50th voter will be getting a $25 gift card. So hopefully we'll get a lot of people to vote this year, more than the nearly 500 or 600 we had last year. So with that being said, I'm going to, yes.
I also want to add something.
Sure.
Yeah, so for those who cannot attend the entire live stream, once Nick has got it up online and on YouTube, we will be putting it on the Records website, and on the Records website, under that video of the live stream, we will also have a link so that you can vote pretty easily, since the Records page is available on RV Connect. And I probably should ask you, Nick, what exactly is the gift card going to be for?
We have to choose. It's probably going to be like a Visa gift card or something. Who knows? We have to figure that out. But $25 gift card. Okay, so with that being said, I'm going to kick everybody up here out of the way, and I'm going to call up the senator candidates. I believe there are 5. So we'll have them sit up here. Okay.
That's crazy.
Wonderful. Okay. So, starting off, just for the two of you, I'll ask the first question, and you guys could choose between the next two for introduction. So, starting off, I hope the camera can still see me, but I don't think it can. I think I'm going to face the camera instead. So, to begin, tell us about yourself. What's your name, major, hometown, and what position are you running for? And also, you can include a ticket if you are running on one. So, I will start here because you're closest to me.
Hello everybody, my name is Brian Alcapina Aliaga. I'm majoring in biology. This is my second year at RVCC. My hometown is North Plainfield. And I'm running for the senator position. And then my ticket will be the Unity and Community.
Hi, my name is Gabrielle Koo. I'm a second year here at RVCC studying general science, pre-health. I'm running for senator, and I'm on the Students Connected ticket.
Hi, my name is Michael Enzo Gaspar. I'm a first year here. I'm from Raritan, and I'm running with the Students Connected ticket. I'm a pre-nursing major.
Hi, I'm Eliza. So it's name, major. I'm a liberal arts major. I live in Clinton, New Jersey. Yay. There's like 700 of us, so you guys don't no one else does. And I'm in my first year. I'm just a little baby.
Hi, my name is Holly Rodriguez. I am a liberal arts major with a focus in psychology. I live in Glen Gardner, New Jersey. And what was the last question? Ticket, yes. And I'm on the Students Connected ticket with Victor.
Okay, thank you for the introductions, candidates. So I will be handing this off to whoever wants to walk up first. Ask the second question.
This is going to be the second question for you all. What are some of the activities you've been involved with during your time here at RVCC, and how have you held leadership positions while you've been here, giving you valuable experience? I will hand this now off to you.
Okay. So being my first year at RV, I haven't had a ton of experience here. More of my leadership experience has come from high school. Being in Model United Nations was a huge part of that. But I have joined Pi Theta Kappa and the NSLS. Student government is a way that I would like to expand on leadership and expose myself more to the community.
Hi, so it's also my first year here, but in my second month here, I joined a DEI subcommittee because we love diversity, and I have also been involved with the student government already. So yeah.
Again, first year here, I've been part of the general committee since my first semester here, and I've held leadership positions in high school as the 2-year president of the Health Occupation Students of America Club at VOTEC.
So I was originally here 2021, 2022, and then I took a gap year, which really helped align me more. And before that, I was involved in a lot of clubs here on campus, including Film Club, Project Catwatch I still do, and as the Philosophy Club has been reinstated, I am the current treasurer. And though I'm not running for that position here in student government, I think that my roles in these clubs and in RVCC as a whole, I've been here for a couple years now, I think that I can really do more in understanding how the school works and how leadership positions are run.
Okay, so this is my second year here, and I'm currently the president of the Orgullo Latino Club. I'm also part of the activities board and part of the NSLS. And what I've noticed that there's a lot of students out here that are not involved. I'm telling you, I remember that once when I was in the during the involvement fair last semester, when I went out, I was outside by the entrance of the college, and I noticed that a lot of people were leaving, and not all of them did not enjoy the college life. So what I want for this year, if I get elected, is to change that up. I want all students to start getting engaged, start having connections, just like I did. My first year here, let's just say that my first semester I wasn't fully engaged, but then by my second year here, that's when I was fully engaged. And currently, as I said before, I am holding a lot of leadership positions, and I'm grateful for that. And basically, I just want everybody to enjoy their lives here at RVCC, because this is one of the best community colleges here at New Jersey. And that's basically it, guys. So yeah.
Okay. All right, the third question, some might say the best. What makes you want to join SGA, and why are you running for the position you are running for?
Okay, super exciting question, because my first semester here at RV, I was looking for an excuse to get more involved. I just didn't know where to start. I didn't have many friends, and it wasn't until this semester that I finally started to become more social. And my friend Archie actually convinced me to join SGA, and I figured this was the excuse that I finally needed to get more involved, which is something that I've been looking forward to. And also later when we talk about what our goals are, it's going to be very exciting to see if the possibility comes true of implementing what we can to RV to better the community.
Hi. Yeah, I also I really wanted to get involved, and the SGA is such a great way to do that. And I want to be there for students who are very busy and they have an issue on campus, and I want to be the one to do all the boring paperwork stuff for them to get that done, because I'm just selfless like that.
Yeah, so my biggest reason for joining student government is to be helping out all of the students here. We don't have a school nurse or any medicine people here, so my biggest reason why I'm running is to teach people about different emergency medicine skills because I've been in EMT for almost 2 years. I've been on my rescue squad for 3, and I think it's really easy to be teaching people like basic skills, and I think it's an important skill set to have within like the student body. So if anybody has an medical emergency, people are there to help them out.
I just want to build on top of that because that's a really great point. Like, we only recently started restocking the little medical boxes regularly. Before that, if you like fell and started bleeding out, like, good luck, you're getting an ambulance and paying like $2,000 for that. I personally decided to get involved in SGA because I spent a lot of my educational career feeling like very separated from my peers. I would do exactly what you were saying. I would go to school and then I would leave immediately. And that was a lot less productive for me, not only school-wise, like my grades were not as good, but also just on an individual level. It's really alienating, especially after COVID and with a lot of things now on social media and technology. Having in-person involvement in real structures that really determine a lot here on campus, I think is something that I would like to be a part of.
Okay, so the reason why I want to join SGA was 2 reasons. So number one, I'm a person who loves to try new things. I want to just experience the college life, like I said before, and I want to help others. So that's number one. And then number two would be that I've noticed that there are clubs out there that do not have a lot of members. For example, recently I heard that MSA right now they're only volunteer to have like let's just say 70 people that signed up, but not all 70 people come, and probably like only 10 or maybe less. So I want that to change. I want all clubs, not just MSA. I want all clubs to have that engagement connection. Doesn't matter the race, doesn't matter the your ethnicity or your interest. It's always good to explore out there, and that's what I want for everybody to do. Just explore, and me being part of SGA will try to do that. By that I mean like I will start like telling people, hey, we got MSA right here. We got OLC. We got the bowling club. Maybe, who knows? You might not like bowling. Maybe you might. Who knows? But it's always best to try it out. And another thing that I've noticed that yeah, when I was in high school, I was not engaged at all. I was never engaged. I was like one of the shy kids out there. And right after COVID, I started reflecting myself that I really want to get involved in my high school, and that's when I started going to student council and other clubs after school, and I truly enjoyed that. But then coming here to RVCC, I promised myself that I will be that person. I will be that one person that will be engaged, and I feel like I have proven that. Right now, I work in student life. I've seen a lot of familiar faces over here, and I know you guys know me. You guys know that I'm that talkative person and I just accept you as who you are. And then again with the clubs, and also since I work in student life, I also tell people to please join a club, find something that interests you, because you will find friends, and those friends can last long in the future. They can help you with a job, an internship, or who knows. But yeah, that's my goal.
Amazing, thank you. So that concludes the introduction section for senators. I just want to remind all of the candidates, if you could keep it to as close as 1 minute as possible in your responses, that would be amazing, just because we have college hour and college hour only, because I have to get to class like immediately after this. But moving on, I'm going to hand it off to Liam.
All right, now we're going to get into some more serious questions. And here we go. How do you plan to support clubs and organizations? And what improvements do you think the current system could benefit from?
So I think communication is the number one important thing, but not just communication, but comprehension. Obviously, you can send out as many emails as you want, but they aren't always receiving them, or they aren't always responding to them immediately. So I think, obviously, as senators, that's our number one duty. But to focus on communication, but personally, what needs to be fixed, like my goal, is surrounding ADHD, because personally I have ADHD, and I noticed that a lot like there aren't tons of resources on Lions Den and Canvas and just the RV page in general. So as senator, one thing that I would do is I would implement more resources, and we could probably get into the specifics of that later. Okay.
So are we talking about in general what we do, or are we talking about clubs?
How do you plan to support clubs and organizations, and what improvements do you think the current system can benefit?
Okay, I think Victor's going to come up here and talk about this, and I think everyone else will too, but the budget period just needs to be shorter, and I know that Stacy has done such good work with that, and I think that we could continue that, working together. We've got a great group of people. I'm not going to sit up here and pretend that it would just be like me, because you can see it's a great group of people up here. So yeah, I think working with everybody in that, in particular, it's just not viable, so.
I think building on interpersonal relationships with a lot of club leaders and just clubs in general. As senators, we do get to liaison like different departments. I think we just need to show up more and just help them out, be the bridge that we need to be.
So one thing that I'm really prioritizing is inter-club awareness, because we have a lot of clubs here at RV, I think over 50 active ones, but you only see maybe once a week an event for a club that maybe you've never heard of. And I think that we could have a lot more student involvement if more clubs collaborated and were communicating about maybe events that they could co-host, maybe have joint meetings every now and then, because I know as someone who likes to be involved in a lot of things, it's really hard to try to show up to 4 clubs who all have meetings on the exact same date at the exact same time, and maybe more collaboration among the clubs could add to that. On this past involvement day, I went around and I spoke with a lot of club leaders to discuss this with them, and it seems like a lot of them have the same ideas of more communication between the clubs themselves.
So yeah, I mean, not gonna lie, all of your guys' responses are the best. It's pretty generical, but yeah. So as the future senator said, communication, advertisement, and collabing. I feel like with collaboration, that would be a big effect for next semester. Our goal is to increase the student engagement here. So I feel like with great communications and all the above, that will be beneficial for all of us. But another thing that I noticed, oh sorry, let me rephrase that. Another thing would be that I would like to change, would just be like the club meetings, like their timings, based on the time that they meet, because there's a bunch of clubs that meet at the same time, and it's hard for everybody to go to 4 clubs in one day. It's impossible. I'm not gonna lie, it's impossible. And so yeah, I feel like with collaboration would be the best solution, and we can make that happen.
All right. Okay. It's your turn now. Oh no, it's your turn. Yeah.
What are some issues that the student body faces that you think should be addressed? What are some issues that the student body faces that you think should be addressed?
I think there are a lot of improvements that could be made on campus. I think every club and organization has their own concerns, and I think they just build up at the end of the day. And I think as senators, that's one thing, as Enzo said, kind of being the bridge of, communication and making sure that those concerns are properly addressed and brought up to people who can officially fix them and improve them.
Yeah, my big thing, my little pet project, the thorn in my side, is harassment reporting. I think probably your high school had if you see something, say something poster, and we don't have that. So if you see harassment, do you right now know who you would talk to and how to do that and all the different things? And I think that's no one wants to think about what you should do when there's harassment, because no one wants there to be harassment, but there is. So yeah.
I mean, going off of what Eliza said, just having report forms or just having forms in general, so we could actually listen to what the students are having problems with, instead of just hearing it walking down the buildings. Because a big problem we faced when we were doing our campaigning was a lot of the students didn't know these things were happening, or club events, or just they could ask us about things, but
So I think you specifically asked like what struggles the student body are facing, and going back to what Eliza said about like harassment, bullying, and the like. I have, and actually some of my peers here have had issues with other students bothering us with things, and genuinely, yeah, we didn't know where to go with that. There's a lot of resources that this school has. I don't doubt that we have people in place to address these things, but how many people are aware that we have counselors here and a resource center, and you know, there's a lot of things that as a student body we're going to be struggling with because we have, you know, hundreds of people coming in every single day. And I think that advocating for students, for their needs, and making sure that we can get them the resources necessary to help them is really important to ultimately helping them with those issues that they're having.
So some students are too shy to speak up. A lot of students are very shy to speak up, and they don't know that they have a voice. So that's why what I would want, what I want for SGA to work on will be, as they mentioned, Google Forms. If you're too shy to speak up, you can just easily just submit a form. Recently, I heard that the Campus Fitness Club last semester they were playing outside on the soccer field, and one faculty member, he kicked them all out just because he said that the men's boys team, they need the field to be in good conditions. But they don't even play there in the soccer field. They don't play their home games there. They don't even, maybe they practice there. I don't know if they practiced last semester. I'm not sure. But all I know is that they got kicked out, and they don't have access to use the field, which is now open. But one problem is that they didn't speak up. I don't know if SGA know about this, but that's what I want. And talking about resources and all that, tutoring center, the food pantry. Not a lot of people know about the food pantry as well. I mean, there are a lot of people there. There's lines and everything, but not a lot of people know about it. And that's what I want, to spread awareness. I want everybody to have a voice in here in campus.
Wonderful. So that concludes the election committee questions. So now we're going to hand it off to the record to ask one last question to all of our senator candidates.
Thank you. So now that you've addressed some of the common student body issues, can you talk a little bit about your plan for communication and the methods you're going to use to convey these issues and your suggestions to the rest of the government and to the administration?
Yeah, that's a great question. I think a good idea what we could do about communications is, again, kind of like I said, a lot of the clubs, a lot of the organizations here, everybody has a concern that needs to be addressed, and kind of what everybody else is saying, nobody knows who to go to. Nobody knows that there are a bunch of resources on campus. So how can we make that more public to everyone? How can we reach out to everyone and say, hey, we have this? I think a good place that we could start is maybe by creating a form and saying what club are you in, or what issue or concern do you have, and then kind of putting it out there, and so they can fill out the rest of the form and then hand it to us, and then we could say okay, and then kind of lead them in the right direction. Because I think as a whole, as they are now, a lot of people just don't know where to go, and we need to be that bridge of communication.
Hi. Yeah, so when you talk about communication, there's communication within the student body, but then there's also the communication with the people who run the college, and that is something that I have done and will continue to do because I am not afraid of unpaid labor. I love it. And yeah, I think that's we can talk to each other as much as we want, but if we never talk to anyone else, we're just going to be sitting on information of things that needs to be done, and yeah.
So one of the ideas our ticket was talking about was potentially starting a podcast to have to just tell the students about current events, fireside chats. If y'all, for the history buffs, start the fireside chats for RVCC, and yeah.
So we've mentioned a lot of great forms of communication already. We have our RVCC Connect, we have Lions Den, where we have a new form that people can submit things to. We have emails, of course, but the most important method of communication to me is direct one-on-one conversation. I feel as if we're in a time where you can submit a Google form, but then you don't always know where that's going. And I think I exercise this by walking into different teachers' offices, asking questions to administration about things I'm curious with, and I want to build a repertoire with other students as well. Anyone who knows me knows that I wasn't trying to run for a Senate position. I just showed up to an SGA meeting one time and they said, more people should run. And I thought that that would give me a larger platform to talk with other students. And if I am elected to office, I want more people here to be aware that I am willing to talk to them directly in person, and you don't have to shoot me an email and wait 7 business days or God knows how long to get, a carefully manicured response with only 1 exclamation point, because if you put 2, that's too much. So, yeah.
Aside from forums, another fun thing we could do, we can just use social media. For example, Instagram, going live on Instagram or TikTok, live conversations. People can just go in to those live videos and simply just type in your question, and then we will answer it right there on live. That'll be that'll be beneficial for the ones that are shy. But yeah, other than that, another thing would be going to club meetings. You can just go to every single club meeting, and then just talk to every individual there. Just ask them what are some problems that you guys have, or what can we help you guys with. But yeah, so I would say in person and live social media. We can use the platforms for live social media, and also the Google Forms. So yeah.
All right, so that concludes our senator section of the candidate forum. So I'm going to thank all of the senator candidates that got up and speak, and I'm now going to tell them to switch with the officer candidate. So if you're running for an officer position, please replace them up here. So there's only 3. So if you guys could sit in the middle, that would be great.
Wait, stop at 2, right? Nicholas.
What?
Stop at 2.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Just use the floor. Wait. Is this all of you? Yes. Move down this way so the light can see you.
Okay. So we're going to start off this section with the same way we started off the previous section. Tell us about yourself. What is your name, major, hometown, what position you're running for, and what ticket you are a part of. And we're going to start with you. No, over here. You're close to me.
Okay. Hello, everybody. My name is Nicholas. I'm a first year. I'm a physics major, and I live in Raritan. And yeah, I want to run for the VP of Finance position, and I'm running with the Students Connected ticket.
Hi everybody, my name is Safa. I'm the current Activities Board President. I'm rerunning again for Activities Board. I am a pre-med major as well as a social science major, double homicide. I come from Franklin Township, Somerset area, obviously, and I'm running with the Students Connected ticket.
Hi guys, well I'm Nina Carvajal. I'm a social science and criminal justice major. My hometown's Asbury Union Township area, and I'm running for VP of Membership and Recruitment. I am on the Students Connected ticket.
Woo! I love VP membership. Hi everyone, I'm Archibald Gupta. I live in Raritan. I'm a film and communications major, and I'm running for VP of Info and Media. And yeah.
Thank you for introducing yourselves. Nick?
I have pizza in my hand. Give us a second question.
Here's the second question. Building suspense. What are some of the activities that you've been involved with during your time at RVCC? Have you held leadership positions while you've been here?
So in my first semester, I joined the record as a service learning student, and I ended up taking the vice president position for it. I'm still the VP, and I'm also a writer and an editor. No, I'm not an editor, I'm just a writer for the record, and I publish a lot of articles there too, so go check them out. And other than that, I have been in touch with the SGA since the first orientation that happened. I have been a proxy to the VP of Info and Media, that was Lucia, some time back. And other than that, I have joined the film club, the road track, and the humanitarians. And yeah, thank you.
So for student involvement, I particularly focused on SGA since the first semester, which was last year. I joined general committee, attended leadership days such as dance floor theory. Some clubs I dance floor theory, and some clubs I'm involved in is criminal justice. Sadly, I haven't had any leadership positions so far. Of course, being engaged in general committee, that does demand some leadership roles. But in high school, I did have vice president, secretary positions at National Honor Society, Science National Honor Society, and Key Clubs.
I think it's self-explanatory. I'm the activities board president, so that's literally all I do. I keep myself committed to what we work on, our events. Because of that, I'm also in student government, so automatic correlation with SGA, A board. A board president is like a huge role in which your life kind of gets consumed by it. So it's a terrible idea for me to join another club. I would not be able to absolutely focus on A board and also do another club. So I just do activities board, and I hope you guys can see what I do based off the events we host. So thank you.
Alright. Talking about campus involvement, low-key, it's been kind of hectic because I've been part of like a couple of clubs. But specifically about leadership positions, I'm the vice president of astronomy club right now, somehow. And also part of general committee like since last year, fall. I've been like keeping in touch with the both VP of Finances, Mohammed last year, and right now Stacy Richards. And I've been like keeping in touch with like SGA in general committee. And the clubs I'm part of are Astronomy Club, Math Club, Campus Fitness Club, General Committee, Environmental Club sometimes, and yeah, that's it.
All right, thank you. So now we're going to ask some more specific questions relating to each of the positions that you are running for. So starting off, we're going to start with the VP of Info and Media, and I'll have Calvin ask that question.
So, how do you plan to improve SGA's media presence and hold SGA accountable?
We have an Instagram account. If you don't follow it, go follow it. It's Students Connected at RV, and we've been posting on it, and just go follow it. There'll be more posts. And for more connections, I plan on doing engagement things like on the stories. They're like polls that you can do or posts. We're all on social media all of the time, so we could come there and just drop by and see what we're going to be doing. And other than that, we obviously are going to use RV Connect, the Canvas page, as they've developed it already. We plan on using it more and seeing what we can do with it.
All right. This question is for the Vice President of Membership and Recruitment, and that is going to be, how do you plan to bolster involvement in student government?
So a big part of our student ticket and everyone's ideals is communication and collaboration, which is part of our 3 C's. So one thing for involvement was that all of us as liaisons for respective departments was to have group meetings so that we can enhance more collaboration, as all of you wish to have seen in the student life. Also with involvement is communication, obviously students, and social media, as Archie commented, is that we do plan on working a lot together to maintain the SGA Instagram account that Jordan has, of course, ran beautifully. And one of the ways that I want to continue what she has done was putting meeting minutes on her stories, so you guys can be involved and know what is going on during our meetings, what's being achieved, what's being worked on. And of course, since Garrett was the Canvas page, which of course I just joined personally social media last year, so I'm a bit baby of knowing anything. So all of us are Canvas students, so that is a very engaging platform that all of us are typically required to be under. So of course we're going to get emails on that, notifications, and as Garrett steamrolls and irons out all the nicks and crannies of the Canvas page, of course, my goal is to maintain that page and provide more accessibility to that.
Okay, so the next question is for our A board president candidate. So that question is, how do you plan to bring more students to the event center campus, and what fun ideas do you have for events at RVCC?
I was hoping I was going to be asked something like this. Okay, so one thing about activities board is that literally we are the flair to RVCC. We're the ones who have the biggest events. Our only problem, when have we ever collaborated with people? Clubs. Rarely. So this semester we only just started implementing more collaborations with more clubs, and the only way we could get people engaged is if, you know, clubs are doing more collabs, because automatically it creates a bigger space, a bigger group of people, more people want to talk. So certain events that we have is we wanted to do a pop-up and paint with PTK, which is so fun, you know, little painting, little therapeutic, and then, you know, obviously we actually have this coming up very soon. So if you do want to attend this event, please let me know, because it's going to be so fun. We have a zero pub night proof event with Hope Club, where there's going to be no alcohol. Don't do alcohol. Not great. So we're already collabing with clubs now, and I just started implementing this now. So if I just started this now, can you imagine what the next year is going to be like? That's all I got to say.
All right, this last question is for our potential VP of Finance, and it is, how do you plan to improve the budget process?
That's definitely a big thing. I think the good thing that the current VP of Finance has like done is like separating the different type of budget things, you know. So we don't have like one form for everything. I think that's a really good idea that she like pursued, and I want to like continue off of that and like really just like make improvements on like the good things that are already here. About the budget process, I think that could also be improved in a way that communication between like clubs or like VP of finances themselves of the clubs could be improved by like me personally like talking with them like through like certain committees, you know, like the budget committee that's already here, or even through like the monthly general assembly meetings. I think we could put like attention to such like big problems that each and like every club on campus faces. I think that's a really like important thing to talk about, especially if a lot of clubs are like having troubles about budget requests.
All right, so now we're going to hand it off for the record. They will be asking 2 questions this time around. So, yes, you were asking the question, right? Yeah, okay.
This is Ryan. He is, as Nick implied, one of our journalists at the record.
If you could come around and touch
So, for all of you guys, since you've had leadership positions, what were the accomplishments that you've had in the clubs that you were in, and what were the impacts that gave those clubs and the basically RVCC as an impact?
So when I was with the record, I like interviewed a lot of people, and honestly, more than me, when I wrote about it, I know a lot of people don't visit the site. You guys should visit it because it's for you all. And what we all post there, it's related to students. It's about student awareness and things that go on campus and events that happen. So it's not like there are no events happening. Obviously, there are a lot of events happening. And the more you talk to the students about it, the more you realize they're not really aware of the events that do offer a lot. And I think it's like a way of spreading awareness about the things that happen on campus. Other than that, with the film club, it wasn't with the film club, but I made a documentary on the food pantry at the resource center, and it was a really cool idea because it helped spread awareness again about the resources that we have, and yeah.
So like I said before, I was very predominantly focusing on general committee. So one thing was a task that Garrett put on me, and actually Victor too, was to focus on the budget request form. So if you were in that general assembly that had us quoted in the little Google slides, it was our pain and suffering that was quoted. And throughout general assembly too is that I've gotten to meet a lot of passionate students that all want to focus on concerns, of course, of SGA, concerns of RVCC, but also amplify what we've had so far, as in we've been talking about resources, and to communicate and be more aware to these obviously concerns and resources. And again, like I said, haven't had any leadership roles here, but of course in high school, definitely focused as secretary and VP of membership was communication and overall well-being of the students participating in clubs and activities.
To answer that question, I would say first off, activities board again is the biggest, largest events that happen on our campus. You know, the picnic, the Halloween bash. I'm sure you guys heard me crying to you guys about the freaking party robot. That's the only flair. It's something that students. That's the biggest engagement that we see on campus. Is literally whatever A board events we do, because when we do our events, we do it at such a large scale. It's a lovely and it's a great thing, but the only thing is, you know, we can't just do one large event every semester. So what I want to work on in the future is doing more smaller events, but you know, still fun, still keeping people engaged with other clubs as well, not just A board. I would also say we always raise money. Whenever our events do happen, we are raising money for some sort of cause, some sort of organization. So it's something that A board has always kept. We're going to keep doing that because there's no point in having such a large event when there isn't some sort of cause. I'm sure you guys saw the dunk tank during the fall picnic. We raised like 1,500 or something along the lines of like that. So, you know, stuff like that.
I'm sorry. Can you repeat the question, please? Wait, can you repeat the question?
Yeah. Do you remember what the question was?
The impact you
What
had.
leadership position you have, activities and accomplishments that have done to impact RVCC?
Yes, of course. Regarding the accomplishments on the things I've done here in my time at RVCC, I think the biggest thing is definitely working with the people that I am working with right now, with general committee, with my ticket, with students connected. I think these people really have like a good vision, and I want to like follow with this vision. I want to like not only give back to the community that I'm part of, but also to like improve on the things that are already here, and especially like solve the problems that students have. Well, specifically regarding my position as the VP of Finance, I want to improve our budget request things, our financing problems, and like whatever issues like the clubs have regarding like their money and such things. Is that good?
All right, next up we have the president and the vice presidential candidates.
Thank you, Jake. So, thank you for all of the officer candidates. We're now going to switch the president and vice president. So, if the president and vice presidential candidates can come up front, that would be amazing.
Are you ready? I don't need to be up front.
Okay.
2 questions. No? Sorry. That was so bad. That was so bad, though.
Yeah, they don't got good chairs up here. Okay, so we're going to start off with introductions once more. So if you could all tell us about yourself, what is your name, major, hometown, what position you're running for, and what ticket you are a part of. And I'm going to start on this side this time because I've started on this side every single time. So I'm going to step over this wire and then hand you the microphone.
Hello everyone, my name is Mariam Bouri. I'm running for vice president. My hometown is Somerset, and my major is health science, soon to be nursing.
Hello everyone, my name is Uzma Loco, and social science major. My hometown is Franklin Township, Somerset, and I'm running for the president.
Hi everyone, my name is Victor. I am running for president. I'm a social science major, and I come from the beautiful town of White House Station.
Hi, my name is Sienna Martin. I'm running for the position of vice president. I'm from Warren Township, and I'm a social sciences major.
Thank you. All right.
All right, our next question is, what makes you want to join SGA, and why are you running for the position you're running for?
So my first year of being at this community college, I wasn't very involved, and I wanted to be. I just didn't know how to go about it. And I became close with a lot of the staff here, and I went around and I asked how I could be a part of the community college and just help to make it a better place for people who felt left out. And so that's why I wanted to run as vice president for SGA to make it a more welcoming and more of like a community for the college.
So yes, I'm running for the SGA because I want to take more student engagement. As our ticket says, unity and community. So we want the community to be together and be engaged more in the campus.
I decided to run for president I knew I wanted to do something. I didn't know what I wanted to do, but then the more time I spent with our current SGA administration, I kind of realized that this is where I want to be. I feel that my skill set kind of lends itself well to the position of president. And well, I'm interested in SGA because I think it's an incredible association. It's our student our ticket.
Can you repeat the question? Sure. Okay, because I think you forgot. Why are you running for SGA, or what makes you want to join SGA, and why are you running for the position?
Okay.
Yeah.
So why I'm interested in SGA, I've been interested in it since I stepped foot on campus. I've been shadowing Garrett since the fall. And I'm running for president because I feel as though my skill set aligns well with what the president needs to do, and I think that I have some good ideas that we'll, get into later, but that's kind of why I'm interested in the position.
Yeah, so I think college is a really important time in your life. I don't think that's a hot take, but I think it's really important to be active in your college life and in your college experience, and that's why I want to be involved, because I think I've been interested in student government from the start, and from what I've seen, it's the most active organization. It has such an important and large role on campus, and I think that by being involved with this, by being in the VP position, that puts me in a really good spot to not only get involved in campus life for myself, but also to improve campus life for everyone, and I think that's important.
So, as presidents of student government, you're tasked with providing the organization with vision and direction. What vision do you wish to bring to the organization and student body during your term?
Yeah.
Wait, can you repeat it? Sorry.
So, as president of student government, you are tasked with providing the organization with vision and direction. What vision do you wish to bring to the organization and student body during your term?
So the vision I want to bring into this campus is more activities. Every season I want to have a different activities. Like like in spring I want to have outside activities like running field and riding bikes. And in summer I want to have like a swimming activities, like we can use the college pool and everyone can use it like to swim as a group. And there's many things that I have in my vision that I can't say right now because it's not in the top of my head. I have it in my note, so yeah.
The vision of our ticket is community at the basis level, and I think as president and as a member of SGA, just in general, I think what we are doing is not for the good of student government, it's for the good of the campus as a whole. And what we need to be focusing on is what we can do to help all the students at RV, not just students that look like us or act like us or are the same age as us, but everyone who goes to school on this campus. So the direction or the vision that I would hope to achieve is a collaborative environment with SGA and clubs and students and administration and faculty, all kind of coming together to create a cohesive and dynamic environment that all students will feel welcome in. So yeah. Sorry.
All right, this next question is for our vice presidential candidates, and it is as follows. As vice president of the student government, you're responsible for supporting the president. How do you plan to collaborate with the president and the rest of student government to ensure a successful year?
So I think, as the slogan goes, unity and community, collaboration is like my main focus. Not only working with the president, but working with the president of the A board, working with presidents of clubs to enhance more activities and to have that community and to have everyone engaged more than we already do. Almost to make it feel like a family, right? So not so when you come to school, it's just because you're coming to school to study. So you have friends, you have those lifelong relationships, all of those. And I think communication would be also a big focus of mine. Communicating not only with my president and other presidents of different clubs, but with the student body as well. Hearing what you guys have to say, and not only just hearing, but creating solutions as well. So. Yeah.
Well, one of the themes of our ticket is communication, so I hope we would be able to communicate with each other. But
This is specifically how we can communicate and support each other.
Yeah, I'll repeat the question. Yeah, how do you plan to collaborate with the president and the rest of student government to ensure successful?
yeah, so I'm pretty lucky in that the group of people I'm working with, they're amazing, and I've also known a lot of them since I started here at Raritan Valley. So in supporting them, I think I'm really lucky in that Vic and I work really well together. And that a lot of our plans, we kind of have the same view on where we want to go with things. And that I have trust in the expertise of all of our members. And I know we'll be able to collaborate well and have trust in each other.
All right, thank you. So that concludes the questions from the election committee. So now we will move on to the record, and then after that, we're going to open it up for audience questions to ask our president and vice presidential candidates. So I will hand this off to you to ask a question.
Thank you, Nick. So my first question is for everybody, and that is, how do you plan on working with the other person? Say, for example, the vice president. If you're the vice president, how exactly do you plan on working with the president? Or vice versa, if they would like to jointly? All right, never mind on that question. All right.
I don't think I told you.
All right, very well then. Nick did not tell me. Anyways, so how exactly do you plan to improve resources for underprivileged students?
So as I said before, I really want to have communication a big focus to hear what the student body has to say, whatever their concerns are, and not just listening to it and then ignoring you guys. I want to listen and obviously work with the president and work with you guys to create solutions, whether it's academic stress, whether it's anything mental health related, whether it's financial stress, and work with staff and the entire administrators, literally everybody on campus to create solutions to help you guys in whatever area it's in.
Yes, I agree with Miriam. So I'm open to suggestion and ideas over the campus. If student has any problem, they can talk to us. We can look for a solution together and find a way to help them. It's only not for student in SGA or student life. It's for student in general in our VCC. So yeah, we will look for more ways on how to make them active and how they wanted to collaborate with each other. We also want to have a study group for students where they can study if they have the same subject or class. We can just provide them a space and they can work together and work on their classes, not only like activities and stuff.
So, thank you for the question, by the way. It's a good question. I think it's when it comes to a topic like this, helping underprivileged students, I think definitely in SGA we would need to talk to administration as well. And I know that the last forum, I went to forum, and if I remember correctly, I'm pretty sure RV has like a big reserve of money that can be used toward these things. Again, I'm not the finance person, but I'm pretty sure that there is more the college could be doing. I know as a ticket, we've talked about some just improving the awareness of what RV has already.
RV is an incredible school with incredible resources already that just need to be advertised more, like the food pantry and counseling services and career services and plenty of things like that that just aren't advertised to students. So I would absolutely collaborate with my VP of Info and Media and my Vice President and everyone on our ticket to kind of find a way to get these messages out to people in a way that they will actually be able to understand and make useful for them. But yeah, also just staying in touch with the administration and making sure that they are doing everything in their power and collaborating with us to help underprivileged students in any way that they possibly can.
Yeah, I think similar to what Vic said, this campus does have a lot of resources, and I think accessibility of information, making sure people are aware, is really important. And of course, as SGA, we are supposed to be the champion of the students, so if there are any other concerns, anything that we can do for underprivileged students on this campus, we would listen to those concerns seriously, take them seriously, and look into what we could do to implement those changes.
Thank you. So my next question to all the candidates is, how do you plan to work with the college's VP of Facilities, John Trojan, in order to make sure that our facility functions well? Imagine things like, for example, the buildings themselves, the elevators, and the water fountains, amongst other things that you...
I'm sorry, could you repeat the question?
How exactly would you plan to work with RVCC's VP of Facilities, John Trojan, in order to make sure that the facilities, such as the buildings themselves, the elevators, and water fountains, are functioning properly?
So, like I said before, obviously communication is a big thing, and feedback is as well from the student body. If there's obviously elevators not working or anything that's more for accessibility that isn't working, like water fountains or elevators, then clearly I'd talk to him and I'd work with him to making it more accessible for people who are maybe in wheelchairs or perhaps can't walk or have struggles going from one building to another, or simply as not having a water fountain that's not working. So just communication.
Yes. So to this question, I'll work with the facilities. Like I'll go there monthly and see what is not working, which elevator needs to be fixed, and which water need to be fixed. And I also want to talk to them about more recycling cans over the campus. And we definitely need those because I see most of the place they just mix the recycling bags, and we'll work with the facilities office.
So the wonderful thing about SGA is that, like Sienna has said, that we are kind of the champion group for the students, and that we kind of act as the avenue through which students can voice their concerns and opinions, and then we then direct them to the appropriate facilities manager or administration, whoever. And the great thing about this power is that we can really make it clear to people in administration and people like John Trojan that there are students on this campus that have concerns about the facilities. I know that I've heard students talk about there's a lack of braille on the doors, so vision impaired students might have a hard time with that. Also, we have a person on our ticket, Eliza, who's very interested in wheelchair accessibility, and I look forward to working with her on that because that's really, like, there's no excuse for that. I feel like we're a community college. We need to have a campus that's accessible to all people. So if I were to be elected president, that would definitely be one of my main things I want to focus on is working with John Trojan and with everyone on my ticket to make the campus as accessible and, as clean and, for everyone. I think that's very important.
Yeah, so I think one of our senators said in the last section that SGA we're kind of supposed to be a bridge between the students and administration, and I agree with that.
it's all for working with fast facilities administration. It's a lot. It would be a lot about bringing up the concerns of students to them. Just thinking of one. I know there's a lot of issues with sink water pressure in the bathrooms, so that's a thing. So yeah, I would just really be acting as a go-between between students and administration, and bringing up those concerns and working with them to make sure students' voices are heard.
The record will be asking a third question. This one is from Melissa.
Thank you. What qualities and strengths are you guys particularly bringing to this election that's going to help you focus on the issues that are more personal to you, that you're more passionate about?
So I think my biggest strength would be definitely communication, public speaking, making friends, talking to people, and understanding what they're going through, having that empathy with people. Obviously, as a Muslim student, like I understand what it feels like to have certain beliefs, certain morals, certain values, and when I first came here, I almost feel like I was never understood or felt like left out, and I wouldn't want anybody else to feel that way. I wouldn't want a freshman to feel that way. No matter what your beliefs, your religion, what your ethnicity is, everyone should be respected, and I think that would be my biggest strength.
Yes, as we say, everyone is welcome. RVCC is their own house. And I'll work on the freshmen more because they're out of high school and they feel shy to be active and go over the campus. So freshmen are my most focus on. Then the rest students that are here for like 2 or 3 years. So I'll work on that, on how they want to be active and what they want to do to be in this campus and feel comfortable.
This is a great question. Thank you. There are kind of two things that come to mind. I'm an extremely organized person, and I pride myself on my organization, and it's something that has always been a part of who I am. And I think that would really help me to kind of continue the work of the current SGA with the Canvas page. I absolutely love that idea. I think it's fantastic, and I think I would diligently be updating it if I were to be elected, because I feel like I love when information is readily available to me, especially information that should be readily available to people, like club meeting times and things of the like. So that's the first thing. And then the second thing, I am very, very passionate about what I believe in, and what I've been extremely passionate about recently is community, and this whole idea of having this place and these people that you can kind of work with and trust. So just my passion for community building, I think, would also help me kind of develop my skills as a president and interact with students in a way that is meaningful and hopefully to make the campus a better place.
Yeah, I think I'm also a very passionate and persistent person, and I use that to take my own experiences and look at how other people might have gone through similar things. Like an issue that I care about is like accessibility of information for first-year students. Obviously, I'm a first-year student, and when I was enrolling at RV, I thought I kind of struggled with the process. There was a lot of things that I wasn't sure how to do certain things, how to set up like my student ID, enrolling with classes, figuring out what kind of clubs and organizations I could join. When I looked online, like a lot of inactive clubs are still listed as active, and there was a lot of really old information. So I'm very passionate about like using my emotions. Like it was a scary experience as a first-year student. So I want to use my emotions, my passion to kind of really persist and go after issues I see on campus.
All right, so that concludes the record questions. So now we will open it up to the audience if they have any questions. So if you want to ask a question, since there's a wire on this microphone, please make a line right here. I know Garrett's jumping at the gun to ask a question. I can only anticipate what it is. So if you could come up here, that would be wonderful.
Hello, President Giroux.
Don't call me that.
Face the camera so Russell could see you.
I can't talk like that. So, for your ticket, the Unity and Community,
As newcomers to student government compared to your competition who's been being trained and learning since their first semester here, how do you intend on catching up with your competition in terms of bureaucratic procedure, terminology, and general know-how of how the student government works? For the two of you.
You gotta give the microphone.
Oh, yeah.
You want to answer first, or? Okay. Respectfully, I love that you mentioned that you've shadowed and like you might know the terminology, but respectfully, I don't think that matters. Truthfully, I myself know I'm a fast learner, so terminology and procedures I can catch on to very easily. Give me a day and I'll do it. And yes, while it's good to be active in the SGA, and you're right, I am a newcomer, I am pretty active with students. I know a lot of people around campus. I like to talk to people, and I think that in some ways, I'm not saying, not just regarding like being a part of the SGA, but I think in a way that matters more. So yeah, I think the student body is what represents the school.
Yes. So, as I don't know if you guys know, I'm the current president of MSA, Muslim Student Association. So I want to work like student body, and can you repeat the word that you said? Terminology.
Yeah, terminology, bureaucratic process, and general know-how of how the student government works.
So I kind of have the idea how it works, because as a president, you work in the MSA. It's all the activities that we do, all the planning and all the stuff. It's kind of the same, but it's just a smaller group. I think SGA will be the bigger group, and I can definitely work on it to run it better if I were elected.
Right. Thank you. So now I'll pass it off to Finn. Oh no.
Hi, so I just had a quick question for your group. So recently, a few senator positions just opened up, and I was just wondering if you wanted to be a part of SGA sooner and like get more information onto how things like run and stuff. Why didn't you try out for those positions if you didn't?
So I decided that it's a good question. It's a very good question. I kind of wanted to focus on the campaign. I think I didn't want to put too much on my plate, running a campaign and also being part of student government, and I feel as though I have the experience with student government because I'm in there constantly and I bother them all the time, but and shadowing Garrett. So I would say that I didn't want to overextend myself with too much SGA stuff at this moment, because I am running a campaign and also doing a whole lot of other things. So I would say that is why I didn't, what's the word, audition? What, like apply. Sorry. Why I didn't apply for that position in that moment. Had it been maybe at a different time in the year, I might have considered, but that would be my answer for that.
Yeah, my answer is kind of similar. I think it's a fair point. It's a fair question, but we were also again focused on campaigning, and since I'm running for the VP position, I was also focused on campaigning more, as opposed to joining and trying to become a senator.
All right, thank you. Do you have a question? Okay. The wire is only so long. I mean, if you want to project, you can. And I'm going to stand over here.
My question is a two-part question. Part one, how do you plan to get rid of the two-factor authorization when people want to access their school mails? And two, what is your plans on strengthening the Wi-Fi connection? Because it's terrible.
All right.
Very good question.
Yes.
Yeah, what he said, authentication.
That's an amazing question, because that's something I have a problem with too as well, and I think every student on campus can relate to the Wi-Fi problems. And I would find out with my president, find out who runs the Wi-Fi and who handles that, and the two-factor authentication and then try to make it easier for the students and definitely make more accessible Wi-Fi, because obviously as students we do need Wi-Fi to do our work, so that's no excuse, and that's something we would definitely work on.
Primarily, I meant the arts building because their reception.
We would work on in every building literally possible, because it's a very huge issue.
So I just wanted to say, because Garrett says I probably have an obligation to say this, because it kind of answers your question with information that we already know, and that's we can't get rid of two-factor authentication. The college's insurance company says we need to have it, and we can't argue with the insurance company. At least the student government can't. John Trojan might be able to, but we can't. So if you don't mind, I might rephrase your question a little bit to how you would work with tech services to improve, you know, the Wi-Fi on campus, the internet on campus, and maybe if you want to talk about it, access to like software that we use. Okay, yeah. So then I'll hand it over to you.
So for the Wi-Fi internet, I think tech services would be the good place to work with. And I'll see what option they have for the Wi-Fi and how they want to fix it, because I have no idea how to fix the Wi-Fi or internet. And for the software, I know there's like a complicated signing in. So we want that a little bit easier, because sometimes we forget our phones. I always do. And there's no way to sign in while you're taking a test. There is the little ticket that you can sign in with, but it's difficult to get. You have to wait for a few hours. So we will probably also work on that while working on the internet.
Yeah, I mean, like you mentioned, I think the Wi-Fi and technology is definitely not my wheelhouse. We would probably have to talk with the people in tech services, and they're great. They've helped me several times with things like passwords and the like. But yeah, I mean, I think again, it all comes down to, especially with the software stuff, I think communication and telling students like how to use these things before we start our college careers here. Like, it would make sense to kind of have like a information pamphlet or something that like explains to students, okay, this is Microsoft, and this is how you use Microsoft. I know a lot of schools use Google, so the learning curve is quite different and difficult. So maybe we could collaborate with tech services to kind of work on something like that, as well as a lot of the free software that RV provides. Like, I'm pretty sure they do Adobe, and they also give New York Times, which not a lot of people realize. But when I heard that, I was like, oh my God, I love that. So just awareness of stuff like that, maybe creating some pamphlets or an email or something to give to new students that would help them get acclimated to the software that we use.
Yeah, I don't have too much to add. I think Vic answered that really well. But what I will say is, with anything, I think it's, with any concern, it really is balancing, talking to administration and figuring out what is the best for students. Because I know they just said the two-factor authentication was something that we do need. And yeah, my hot take was kind of that we shouldn't get rid of two-factor authentication